Hey, welcome back to Trucking Answers. A lot of you have asked me, hey, do you know of any good place to go to work? Well, it depends on what you want, so I'm going to give you a few pointers on that. Number one, you should write down the 5 things that are important to you because each person has a certain thing that they like to do in trucking. And what I like to do might not be what you like to do. All right, so the number one thing on there, of course, should be, do I get paid for all my time? And that's the first question you should always ask companies. Will I get paid for all my time? And that means detention, breakdown pay, waiting, everything. You shouldn't have to wait 4 hours to get paid. None of that. Make sure you get paid for all your time. And then the other things are more personal. Like, do you want to be home every day? Do you want to be out for a month? Would you like to stay out all year? That's a personal choice that people make. Do you want to, run a tanker or run a reefer or run a flatbed? Everybody has a choice. There are people that really enjoy running flatbed, but, I did and I didn't like it that much. So I just do dry vans. It just depends. And where do you want to run? Some places say, oh, we're dedicated, freight, but what does that mean? They'll be dedicated east of the Mississippi. Well, that's a pretty big part of the country. Or do you want to run a regular route that you do the same thing every day? Or do you want to just get out there and see the whole country and just go to random places? Now, I think your best bet, especially in electronic logs, is to run a dedicated route. If you do the same thing or basically the same thing every day, every 3 days, or each week, whatever it is, you'll know what you're going to get paid, you'll know where you're going to stop, and that'll make it a lot easier for electronic logs. Doing random freight anymore becomes very difficult on electronic log. You don't know where you're going. You don't know when you should take your 30-minute break. You don't know any of these things. So looking for something dedicated, that's just my preference, though. You may want to run the whole country and see the world, like they say. So you're going to have to figure out the 5 things that are most important to you. Number one, do you get paid for all your time? I think that's always number one for places because so many people write in and say that they're sitting at a dock somewhere and not getting paid. They've been sitting 6 hours, 7 hours, and they didn't get paid. And I find that to be just ridiculous. So that should be your first question to places. Will you pay me for all of my time? And that's not just part of your time. Now, some things happen. Like I had a video a few weeks, a month ago or whatever, where I waited in traffic because there was a big accident. Okay, I didn't get paid for that time because I get mileage plus stops, plus waiting and all that. But stuff that is beyond your company's control and beyond your control, you're just not going to get paid for that. But most everything else should pay. Waiting at a dock and waiting to load and unload, that has to pay, and that has to pay a good rate. It can't be $10 an hour after 4 hours. That's not acceptable. So write down these 5 questions and ask companies and go back and forth between the companies. What do you pay? What does this pay? What do I do here? What am I going to do there? All these things. When does my insurance start? If that's important to you, if you need insurance. When does my vacation start? Everything that it is. You write it down and you ask them and you find the place that's going to fit for you because you don't want to be jumping around. It's annoying changing jobs anyway. It takes a week or 2 to get into a new place. And then it'll take you a while to get into the whole system of how they work things. So find a place that works for you. But number one has to be, do you pay for all my time? And don't accept this, we pay for some of your time. Don't accept household good miles anymore. Nobody does that. That's old school. They can pay you better than that. Be sure to get paid properly and find a job that fits for what you want to do in driving. All right? Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with more Trucking Answers.